Scanning for audio.
Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast. Now, this time talking about The Paradox Planet, release number 3 in series 5 of the 4th Doctor stories. Now this is part 1 of a 2-part release, which means the cliffhanger at the end actually gets to be a cliffhanger for a whole month. A whole month, kicking your heels and worrying. Yes, I know that it's $8.99, but that means that this entire story is going to set you 18 quid back, but that's just fine, and that's just for downloads. But it's a 4th Doctor and Romana 2 story, written by Jonathan Morris, directed by Ken Bentley. It's not going to be a bad thing, and trust me, it genuinely isn't. Yes, I've got some sort of issue with the illustration of the tank on the front of the CD, because I'd pictured it more being, well, more submarine-like, because that's how it's kind of pitched in the story, but tell you what, here's the synopsis.
This is K9. You are listening to Tin Dog Podcast. Please do not switch off.
Whilst travelling in the vortex, the TARDIS is struck by an advanced war machine, a time tank. Losing Romana, the Doctor and K9 pursue the tank to Arios, a world quite literally at war with itself. Soldiers from the future are attacking the past of their own planet, gathering resources and stealing endangered species, but the past is not without weapons of its own, leaving deadly devices ready to trigger many years ahead after their enemies have been born. Trapped at opposite ends of a temporal war, the Time Lords have 2 time zones to save, but who's in the right, and who is in the wrong? And when history itself is against you, can anybody actually win? Now, the story continues with Legacy of Death, which comes out in a month's time. So what I'll do is, I'll arrange for this review to go live in April on the podcast feed, but obviously I'll release it early on the YouTube feed. And for the pedantic amongst us, also the Vimeo. But is it any good? Well, of course it is. It's got K9, Romana and the Doctor in. It's also got the guy who played, well, you know, Duggan in it, as well as Emma Campbell-Jones, who you might remember from a certain 8th Doctor story, but that's beside the point. Is it any good? Yes, it is. Is it a fantastic setup for a story that I haven't heard the end of? Yes, of course. Brilliant acting? Yes. But it went down to that thing that makes me grumble and gripe, because we haven't got the rest of the story. So I can't truly review it. Suffice to say that it is, so far, very well executed. The 2 time zones are particularly well realised, and the fact that we're kind of in the same position as one of them as a human race, we really do need to take into consideration. Yes, everyone involved has a point, and yes, K9 is particularly great in this story. Could it be spoilt by the second release, parts 3 and 4? Perhaps. It is very unlikely, because this season of Tom's stories has been great. Now, there is lots of chat on the Divergent Universe forums about Tom's new companion. Who will it be? Except, of course, most of Tom's stories have been recorded in massive batches years ago by now. They exist. So whoever we're talking about casting or performing or being in these stories may have already been and gone. Yes, he can't perform with Liz Sladen. We'd love that. Yes, there are no more Romana 1 stories. We could get something with Adric, but that would be pushing it, I think, for everyone involved. No, I'm just not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what I'd ask for, or even who I'd cast as a companion for Tom. I suspect some lovely old actor or actress, someone that they've known for years, someone basically who's going to give Tom a good time. A short review, yes, but that's only because part 2 isn't with us. It's a very strong story so far, and something well worth going into. So until next time, where I'll probably be talking about Doctor Who. Be seeing you.
Coming soon from Big Finish Productions. The Fourth Doctor Adventures. The Paradox Planet.
Time dive imminent. All chronauts to transit stations.
Chronauts, you are to recover a male and female specimen of the Xylops species and collect as many Xenox crystals as you can. Minimum force is to be used, all weapons to stun only.
Energize now complete. All clear for time dive. 4, 3, 2, 1.
There's something in the time vortex.
TARDIS sensors detect another vessel approaching rapidly.
What?
Sensors indicate vessel is on a collision course.
Hello, my name's Ramon.
And what are you doing in my ship?
This is some sort of military operation.
Of course. We're in a state of war.
With whom?
With the past.
I say, what an impressive control room.
This man is a time traveler, not of this planet.
I am the Doctor. I'm only visiting, seeing the sights.
Everyone! Get down! Get down! Return fire! There are too many of them, sir. They've got us pinned down!
Big Finish. We love stories.
That was the Doctor Who Tin Dog Podcast, available on iTunes, YouTube, Twitter, RSS, Vimeo, and across the internet. Doctor Who and its associated properties are all copyright and trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Why not become a supporter by visiting patreon.com/tindog. Contact the show on tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.